All right, all right. Hello, hello, my friends. Good afternoon. How are you? How are you doing today? Today is Monday, and we are here to talk about your English. And I have a question for you. All right. So I'm going to ask you a question, and I want you to answer in the comments. Okay? So let's go ahead and get started. Hey, Rayoona Ragab Buzz at Oxford University. Hello, hello. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, welcome. How are you? Good evening, Rayoona. All right. Good evening. How are you doing? Someone named Facebook user. No name, but they're saying hello. Hello, everyone. So I have a question for you, okay? So today, in this video, we're going to talk about how to learn English because everybody always asks me, David, how can I study English? And I understand why people ask this question. Okay, so we're going to answer that. We're going to talk about how to study English. Okay, but first, I want you to answer one question for me. Okay, so here's my question. Are you ready to answer? Are you going to answer my question? If you're going to answer my question, type yes in the comments. So I know you're ready to answer my question. So let's just read the comments here, what everybody's saying. Okay, Rayoona says, I'm Rayan. I'm from Sudan. Hello, Sudan. How are you, Sudan? Everyone in Sudan, and especially Rayan. Muhammad says, hi. Hi, Muhammad. Sii Too says, hello. Hey, Sii Too. All right. Someone says, hi, how are you? I'm in Morocco. And you? I am in Florida, USA. And Sherin says, hello, teacher. Okay, great, great. All right. Somebody says, yes, sure. All right. Okay, great. So here's my question for you. Okay. My question is, what is your favorite way to study English? What is your favorite way to study English? All right. So you've been studying English for a long time. Some of you have been studying many months. Some of you have been studying many years. So of all the ways that you've studied English, what is your favorite way? Just one, okay? You can list more if you want, but right now I'm just looking for one, okay? So your favorite way to study English. So let's look here through the comments. Lots of comments rolling in. Very good. Nice to have you all here. So Rayanne says, I'm fine. Thank you. Very good, Rayanne. I'm happy you're here. Sii Too says, hello from Morocco. Hey, Morocco. Hello, Sii Too and everyone in Morocco. How are you? Rayanne says, everything's good. Okay, the Facebook user says, my name is Hussam Salah. Hello, Hussam Salah. Arkan from Iraq. Hello, Iraq. How are you? Vilas Boas from Brazil. Hello, Brazil. Boa tarde, all my friends in Brazil. I love Brazil too. All right. Hello from Brazil. Yes, very good. Altapi Ilki says hi. All right. Fabio from Brazil. Hey, Fabio. All right. Sherin says, I'm from Syria. All right. Hello, Syria. Okay, good. So now we're getting into the answers, your favorite way to study English. Here's the first answer somebody posted. Sii Too said, reading novels. Reading novels is a fantastic way to improve your English, especially because it helps you increase your vocabulary, right? You read, you learn many new words, you learn how those words are used in context. Very good, Sii Too. Reading novels is a great, fantastic way to improve your English. Sii Too, another question for you. What novels are you reading right now? Tell us the name of some of the novels that you're reading. I don't have any novels here with me because my novels are out on the bookshelf. But the last novel that I read was called King of Torts by John Grisham. Very good book. Later I have to post a review and tell you about this book. But I like reading novels too. Okay, continuing on here. All right, this is from our Facebook user named Hussam Salah, who says, I think practice all the time. So you think in English? Is this what you're doing? All right, this is a good way as well because thinking is a very good way to practice what you've learned, right? So you learn a new word and then you're walking down the street. For example, you learn the word tree, right? And you say, okay, there is a tree. There is a big tree, so you're thinking to yourself. I remember when I was studying French, I would do this often. I would imagine myself going into a store and talking with the person there trying to buy something. And then when I would practice all the words I had just learned, came up with a phrase that I didn't know how to say, I would go research it in a translator or a dictionary or ask my friend, and then I would learn new words. So this is great. Hussam Salah, this is a great way to practice your vocabulary, the words you do know, so you don't forget them. And it's a very good way to also learn. You realize what you don't know because you think, oh, how do I say this? I don't know. So you go and learn that word. Fantastic. Thinking is a great way to practice. Arkan says, through the structure. This is good, Arkan. So this is your favorite way to study. How do you master the structure, Arkan? So explain this to us. Explain how you master the structure. Is this by studying grammar? Do you study the grammar structures, the sentence structures? And if so, if there's a specific way that you do you have a book that you use? Do you research online? Do you study? Do you watch videos on YouTube about structure? So this is interesting. Now I'm curious. How do you master the structure? What's your technique for doing this? Because this is very important. The structure of the language is how the words fit together, right? Because in English, we put the words in a certain order. In other languages, they're in a different order, okay? So in English, we normally put the adjective first, then we put the noun. So we say blue bird. But in other languages like Portuguese, we flip it, we put the verb, we put the noun first and then the adjective. So we say the bird blue, right? O pássaro azul. In German, in English, we normally take the verb and put it in the middle of the sentence. In German, it goes all the way at the end. I studied a little bit of German. German is very, very hard, but it's a good challenge. So yes, structure is very important, Arkan. Fantastic. Great way. Let's see. Altapi Ilki says reading. Yes, okay, that's good. Someone else likes reading too. We already saw the novel. So what do you like reading, Altapi Ilki? Do you read novels too, or do you read other things? So what kind of things do you read? Fantastic. Facebook user says, I used to learn English by watching movies. Watching movies is a fun way. We can talk about this later. There's a structure you can use for learning English with movies. Movies is a very good way because you can have the subtitles to see the words, how they're written. You listen, develop your listening. You see the structures, the words that you don't know in the subtitles. You can look up in a dictionary. You can master the pronunciation, right? Because you're hearing it. You can practice your pronunciation too. So you can develop all of your skills with a movie. A movie is a very, very good way to improve your English. All right. So Rayanne says, I'm happy too. Great. Fantastic, Rayanne. I'm happy too. We're all happy here together. Anas Al-Kanakri says, watching a lot of videos. Good, Anas. So what kind of videos do you watch? Are these YouTube videos? Are they videos about sports? Are they videos about your hobbies? What kind of videos do you like to watch? Videos are like movies. They're a very good way to learn English. All right. Dun, dun, dun. So it says, we share our in live with you. I don't understand your question, Hassam. If we share our idea in live with you, if you can share something, I don't understand. If you want to share this live with other people, you can, yes. I think that's what you're asking, but if not, clarify your question so I understand what you're asking. All right. Says, hi, my name is Adham. I am from Palestine. Hello, Adham. Nice to meet you. Fantastic. All right. Sherin also says, I think watching films can be good too. That's correct, Sherin. Watching films, we already mentioned that, is great. It's a great way to learn English. All right. Altapik Ilki says, wow, it is very good, sir. Thank you, Altapik Ilki. I believe that these are all very good ways to learn and improve your English. Fantastic. Samo Josefa. Samo says, I'm learning English. Yes. Great, Samo. That's fantastic. So what is your favorite way to learn English? For everybody who's coming in now and is new, our question is, what is your favorite way to learn English? Let me go ahead and make a caption here for you. So here's the question. What is your favorite way to learn English? Boom. Okay. So that's the question. What is your favorite way to learn English? That way we can show it every once in a while so people know what we are talking about. Okay, Samo, so tell us what your favorite way to learn English with. All right, so see the next one here for working. David, also I like English, okay? So you're learning English for working. This is good. Here we have a big one. I've been studying English for 6 years, and my favorite way to learn English, I learn all form of the word and also, I think there's more text that's not showing up, so let me read it. And also use them in sentences and also memorizing some useful sentences which is written down in dictionaries. Good. Okay. So I believe this is from Hassam. He says he's been studying for English for 6 years. That's good. Your favorite way to learn English is to learn the word in all the forms of the word and then memorize them in useful sentences. This is good, Hassam. Very, very good. When you learn new words in English, it's important to learn them in the context of a sentence so you can actually use them when you speak with people, because a lot of times students learn lots of words, but when it comes time to speak, they don't know how to use those words. So it's very, very important that you learn the words, and also make a sentence. So here's a tip for you. Have a notebook, you learn a new word, you write it down, and you write 2 sentences with that word, and then go practice those sentences with a person. So you can use that word in a comment in Facebook. You can use that word when you're talking with your friend. Don't be afraid to make mistakes, because if you make a mistake, it's okay. You're learning, right? You're going to make a mistake. Someone will correct you, and then you will learn how to speak correctly, right? So making mistakes is part of the process, kind of like a child learning how to speak, right? When a baby's talking, it says, drink water. And the mother says, oh, you want to drink water. So the baby says, you want to drink water. And the mother says, no, say, I want to drink water, right? So the baby knows the word water, drink water, and you go developing the correct way to say those words even while you're speaking and practicing, because when you make a mistake, someone will correct you, and then you learn how to speak even better. Okay, so Hassam continuing on says, speaking English with our friends together is a great way to improve our English, is a good way to improve our English. Yes, this is a very good way. Speaking is very, very important. Many students study and learn, but they're afraid to make mistakes. So don't be afraid to make mistakes. Making mistakes is normal. It's part of the process. When you're learning how to play the guitar, when you're learning how to drive a car, you don't know many things, but you practice and get better, and you practice some more and you get even better. So speak with your friends every day. Continuing on, Hassam says, I'm from Afghanistan, but right now in India. Great, Hassam. Fantastic. India is a very big country, right? All right, so the intention of taking part in learning English is to improve our grammar, vocabulary, writing, and speaking. We know English is a communicating language that we use when we meet different people with different languages, so we can use it to adapt ourselves. Yes, this is good. So you have to develop all of these skills together. Okay, so for those who are coming in, let me just remind you, the question is, what is your favorite way to learn English? What is your favorite way to learn English? So you can type that in the comments below. Let us know what your favorite way to learn English is. That's what we're talking about. Okay, just comment in the comments, no matter where you're watching, Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, Twitch, wherever you are, you can comment, and I can show your comments here. All right. Yas from Iraq. Hello, Yas. Hello, Iraq. Nice to know you. How old are you, and where are you from? Yas. It's very nice to meet you too. I am 43. I am in Florida in the United States, in a city called Tarpon Springs. I got to turn my head out here so you guys can see me. So that's who I am, Yas. Nice to meet you, Yas. How old are you? And I know you're already from Iraq, so tell me a little bit more about yourself. What do you do? Okay, so Betson says hi. Hey, Betson Hussein. Nice to meet you. Let's see, everybody's talking here. Greeting. Abdurrahim. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Says, hi, sir. Hello, Abdurrahim. Nice to meet you. All right. Betson is asking, what is your topic? Betson, just reminding everybody, I think you already saw this because I know I'm still reading the comments from before, but for those who are coming in now, our topic is, what is your favorite way to learn English? Abdurrahim asks, so do you think we should listen to English? Abdurrahim, the answer is a very definitive yes. Yes, you should listen to English. It's very important because I'll tell you some stories. I know many students that I met over the years, okay? They were very good at reading. They could read better than I could, all right? So, for example, a doctor, they read medical manuals. A programmer, they read all the technical information. So they read and they understand very technical words that even someone like me, a native speaker, doesn't know. So they know many words, they have an extensive vocabulary, they understand the text, but when we try to speak, they don't know how to speak because they never listened to the words, right? So it's important that you learn the proper pronunciation because most students, when they are learning English, automatically pronounce the words the way they pronounce them in their language, right? So it's important to learn the pronunciation in English. So you do this by listening. You listen, you hear, and then you practice, you repeat, and you improve your pronunciation and reduce your accent, which is what many English students want to do. So yes, listening is very important. You can do this with podcasts, you can do this with movies. When you're reading a book, if you have the audio book, you can listen as well. All right, very good. So just reminding everybody coming in still, our topic, what is your favorite way to learn English? Type one of your favorite ways to learn English in the comments. All right, Shoma says, hi Dave. Hey Shoma, how are you? Happy you're here. Thank you for joining us. All right, someone asks, I think it's Hassam again, says, hey man, good to see you. Hey, good to see you too. I don't know if this is still Hassam or someone else, but it's good to see you all here. All right, Evandro Moraes Pinto says, hello, Dave. I'm from Brazil. Hey, Evandro. Nice to have you here. Welcome. I'm happy you're here too. Muhammad is asking, do you have an English channel? And the answer is yes, Muhammad. I do have a YouTube channel. It is youtube.com/EXLEnglish. I will type this here for you so you can see that. Actually, let me just see if we can pull it up here real quick. That way you can actually see it on the screen. Let me see if it'll load up here for a minute. Give me just a second. You guys can keep asking your questions there in the comments below. When I'm doing the live streams, my internet is kind of slow here. So we are coming along here. My YouTube channel is still loading up. Muhammad, I'll show you here in a second when it comes up. But meantime, you guys can type that in your browser. You can type in youtube.com/EXLEnglish and see my YouTube channel there. All right, so going back to the next question, Gilles Cardozo. Hey, Gilles. Gilles is my big friend. How you doing, Gilles? Happy you're here. Good to see you here. Next one, Facebook user Hassam, or maybe someone else says communication is best way together, the best way together. Yes, it's very good to learn and practice together. Priscilla, hello Priscilla, how you doing? Priscilla is one of my favorite students ever, right? I think Priscilla was in the very first class that I ever taught when I was in Brazil. No, I take that back. Not in the very first class I taught, but when I started an English school, she joined the very first group. So welcome, Priscilla. I'm very happy to see you here. So we have a big question coming up here. Before I do that, for everyone who's joining here, just to remind you, Whoops, that's not it. Our question is, what is your favorite way to learn English? So you can type your favorite way in the comments. We're discussing everybody's favorite way to learn English. Mohammed says, I've been studying English for 6 years, and my favorite way is to learn English. I learn all form of the word. And also, I think we already saw this one. So, sentence and also memorizing some useful sentences which are written down in a dictionary. Okay. So, yes, Muhammad, I think I read that up above, but I think I took a long time to answer, so you wrote it again. All right. Next one. Someone says, hi, teacher. Hello, hello. I don't know how to pronounce your name here because I don't know how to read these letters. I believe this is Arabic, maybe. I don't know. Someone has to teach me Arabic. Okay, so Sherin says, I'm studying Dutch and I'm still in A1. Very good, Sherin. Keep studying Dutch. Dutch is hard. They use the throat a lot, right? I met some guys from Holland once, and it was very hard to say their names. So I believe that is going to be a fun language to learn. Priscilla's asking, can you add me into the group? Sure, Priscilla. I will do that when I finish the live here. I will check the group. For those of you who want to join our group on Facebook, let me see where I have it here. I think this is it. Join our Facebook group, Learn English Like a Maven, okay? That's the name of our Facebook group, so you can join us there. And there's some questions for you to answer, and then we will let you in the group. So myself or Ali, if Ali's there. So Ali is a great moderator. He's doing a fantastic job. I had like 5 people in the group, and Ali said, hey, David, let me help you in the group, be a moderator. I will invite all my friends. And the next day we had like 150 people in the group. So everybody give Ali a big shout out. Thank him for helping us organize this group. Okay, very good. So continuing on here. Julian says, is more interesting. What is more interesting, Julian? Let me see down here in the comments if you commented. Go ahead, tell us, Julian, what is more interesting? All right, so Sarbas says, can you help me? I want to learn English. Yes, Sarbas, we are going to help you. We're going to do lives. We're going to record videos. We're going to make posts. We're going to create courses. We're going to organize groups where you guys can talk together. We're going to have Zoom meetings where you can talk with me live. And this one, this isn't Zoom. I'm not on Zoom right now because I just wanted to do the survey and ask you what your favorite way to learn English is. Way when we do the next one, we can do it on Zoom and actually talk live. All right, I see some people here talking in another language. I don't understand what you all are saying, but this is great. Y'all keep chatting. Evandro says, music. Yes, Evandro, music is a great way to learn English. Believe it or not, I have never had a student tell me that they don't like learning English with music. I have had students tell me, David, I don't like learning English by movies. But everybody that I've met so far likes music. Music is great. You have the lyrics. You can learn the words. You can listen to practice your pronunciation. You can sing along and practice your pronunciation too, right? So that's great, Evandro. Music is a great way to learn English. Abdes Samad says, my favorite way to improve my language, I think, is more speaking. Very good, Abdes Samad. That is one of the most important things you can do. You study, but you have to speak. You have to practice. So many students are afraid to speak. Don't be afraid to speak. Practice talking with everyone. When I was learning French, for example, I would talk with everybody in French. Even if they didn't understand French, all my friends and my family thought I was crazy because they would talk to me in English or in Portuguese and I would answer them in French. Of course, I would translate and explain it. I would teach them what I was learning, but it was a good way for me to reinforce what I was learning. All right, someone else here says speak with native people. Yes, this is very good, speaking with native people. All right, so if you know native people to practice your English with, this is very good. You can ask them questions. They can answer your questions and help you improve immediately. All right, Priscilla says, my favorite way to learn English is by practice. That's great, Priscilla. So, by practicing, what do you mean by practicing, Priscilla? You mean you practice like speaking? Or you practice, how do you practice what you're learning? This is interesting. A good comment and a good question. So if you're still there, Priscilla, tell us how you practice. All right. Some more comments here in another language. I'm jumping down to Facebook user. Maybe Hassam or someone else. I don't know who the Facebook user is, but it says, by listening to the radio and English songs. Yes, good. Music, we already talked about. The radio is a fantastic way. Guys, let me share with you one very good radio that you can listen to. What is the name? It's the Voice of America, the VOA Special English, okay? If you like listening to the radio, listen to the VOA Special English. This is radio for people who are learning English as a second language. So, there on the VOA, the Voice of America is a normal news station. They share news. They talk about many topics. But in the special English, they talk slowly and explain things for people who are learning English. So VOA Special English is fantastic for English students, people who want to learn English. All right, Ahmed says hello. Someone asks, how can help me to improve my language? That's what we're talking about here. We're talking in English. We're going to be teaching English. We will have many lessons and topics and recordings and posts to help you. So stay tuned. Join our Facebook group. Join our YouTube channel. Join us, wherever you're watching this. And that way, when we do more lives and post more lessons, you will see them. All right. Anna says, it's kind of movies that I watch it on EG Best. So movies, is that what you're saying, Anna? Those are that's your favorite way to study English? I didn't understand that last part there about the EG Best. It's kind of movies that I watch it on EG Best. Is this a channel or is this where you watch them or what? I'm not sure what you mean by the last part there. But I understand that you're saying that the movies that you like, the movies are your favorite way, right? Remember, guys, for those coming in now, the question is, what is your favorite way to learn English? All right. Continuing on here, Facebook user says, hi, your English is very clear. We can understand easily. Thanks a lot, sir. You're welcome. You are very welcome. I'm happy that you like it and that you're enjoying this. All right. Some people are sharing links for groups where you can join to practice, okay? So I don't know. Okay, they look like WhatsApp groups. So someone is inviting you, Ahmed is inviting you to join his WhatsApp group. So I don't know what's going to happen when you click the link. I'm not telling you to click the link because you got to be careful right nowadays. But it looks like Ahmed is inviting you to his WhatsApp group to practice English with the people in his group. All right, so continuing on here. Machias says, my favorite way to learn English is by listening and speaking. Very good, Machias. Those are good ways. What do you listen to, Machias? Do you have like audio for an English course? Do you listen to audiobooks, podcasts? What kind of things do you listen to? And then speaking is very good as well. Important for practicing. All right, continuing on here. Ahmed says, replying to Priscilla Nascimento. Okay, send her a message to practice speaking. Shoma says, are the grammar important in learning the English language? This is a very good question, Shoma. Some teachers say, don't study grammar. Grammar's bad. Other teachers say, study grammar. Grammar's very important, right? So here's what I think about grammar. Grammar is how we structure the word language. So, okay, the problem that some teachers see is that there are students who focus only on studying grammar. So the students study lots and lots and lots of grammar. They know all the grammar rules. They know how to explain the grammar rules. They know how to put what word where, how to answer all the questions on the test, but they can't speak, okay? So this is a very common problem for many students who focus solely on only learning grammar, all right? So yes, grammar is important, but you have to be careful. So you have to study grammar and make sure you're practicing it. It's important, and there's a technique that I'll talk to you guys more about later that I call an integrated learning system that you can use to develop all your skills together. Because, you know, you meet a student, they know lots of English, lots of vocabulary, lots of grammar, but they can't speak. Remember, we talked about like doctors and programmers who can read, but they can't speak because they never practice their listening. So these are all skills that you have to develop. It's like going to the gym to exercise, to work out, right? When you go to the gym, you're supposed to exercise your whole body, all your muscles, so your body grows and develops together. But one time I went to the gym and I saw a man lifting very heavy weights with his arms, and his arms were very strong, very muscular, right? But then I looked down at his legs, and his legs were very skinny. So he exercised his arms every day, but he didn't like to exercise his legs. So his arms were huge, but his legs were very skinny. So it looks kind of funny, right? So the same thing with your English. You have to practice all of your skills. You have to study the grammar to know how to join the words so you can speak correctly, right? So when you study grammar, you become proficient, correct. You know how to form the sentences. But if you don't practice speaking, you're proficient but not fluent, right? Does that make sense? So sometimes I'll talk with a student, and when I ask them a question, they have to stop and think about all the grammar rules so they can answer. Other times, they speak very slowly and it's hard for them to speak. Other times I'll speak with a student who they speak very fast, they talk a lot, but they make a lot of mistakes, right? So, do you think it's better to know everything perfect and not be able to speak? Or is it better to speak a lot and make a lot of mistakes, right? Now, obviously, you want to speak a lot and you want to speak correctly. So you have to develop both skills together. Does that make sense, Shoma? So normally what happens is when you're beginning, a student is beginning to learn English and they study grammar, they know the grammar rules, but they don't know how it works. So it's better if you wait to practice, learn how the language works, and when you can speak English, study about the rules in English, right? Just like a little child, when they start learning their language, they make a lot of mistakes. They learn how to speak, then they go to school, and after they go to school, then they learn how to read and write, and then they learn grammar in their school. So here in America, everybody studies grammar in school after they speak. In Brazil, everybody studies Portuguese grammar in school after they learn how to speak, right? So you want to have that balance. Obviously, you're not a child, you're an adult, so you can do both together. You can learn how to speak, you can study grammar, you can do everything together. It's no problem. It's just making sure that both skills progress together, right? Not like one keeps going and the other one stays down, or vice versa, right? One grows and the other doesn't. But that is a very good question, Shoma. I liked your question. Fantastic. Da-dun. So, Hamza says, learning languages, it's like training. Yes, Hamza, very good point. So you have to improve your reading muscle, your listening muscle, your writing muscle, and the important muscle is speaking. That is a great comment, Hamza. Congratulations. Fantastic. This is I like that, your writing muscle, your listening muscle, your speaking muscle, and your speaking muscle, right? Okay, good. So people are coming in here saying hello. Hello, everyone. Just reminding you, our question is, what is your favorite way to learn English? Okay, that is our question. If you haven't answered it yet, you can answer it in the comments below. Evandro says, thanks, David, for your tips for us. You're welcome. Facebook user says, I practice all the time with my friends. This is great. Ahmed says, replying to Shoma, grammar is important for teaching, but if you want just to learn speaking, it is good to ignore difficult subjects of grammar. Okay, I agree with Ahmed. Okay, so just because you study the grammar doesn't mean that you're going to know how to speak. So like we said, you have to develop both together. Develop your speaking. Obviously you want to speak correctly, but don't worry about the difficult grammar points, because sometimes the students say, David, I explain something and they say, but what about this or what about that? And they get all worried about things that they don't have to worry about. So that's what I like about Ahmed's comment here, is focus on speaking, ignore the difficult subjects. Learn the essential for what you need at your level. If you're at level A1, if you're beginning, then focus on the easy grammar stuff, right? Ignore the difficult ones. That's what Ahmed's saying. Fantastic. Very good. So, somebody's saying, Rifat Muhammad from Malaysia, 22. I'm studying at the UTHM Department of Civil Engineering. All right, Rifat, welcome. Glad to have you here, and congratulations on your civil engineering degree. Are you almost graduating, or did you just start? Okay, continuing on here. I'm from Bangladesh, someone says. Here we go. We have a question. Ahmed says. Okay, so this is Ahmed. He was putting his WhatsApp group to practice speaking. Okay. He said, Dan, how are you? I'm so happy to be here with you too. I love the English language. English language is my favorite language. Good. I'm happy you like English so much. All right. Then, Hidalgo says, I did, in my opinion, more difficult. See? Good. That you're strong practice or listening to give size. It's just a matter of, right? Practice and study and learn something. Practice. You always have to practice. So develop those. Sherin says, I followed a channel on YouTube. Very good, Sherin. So another recommendation for those of you who are learning English. I've seen Alicia's channel, but another good channel for you to follow. All right. Facebook user, I'm not sure if this is Hassam or if this is Rifad, but they're saying I get stuck when I try to speak idea generation. Right. So is because you don't know the words. If you don't know that, then increase your vocabulary. You have to learn words. Because you can't put the phrase enough in your head, no problem. You have to learn more about the grammar, how it works, and practice it till you can use it. Right? It could just be that you're so you have to work on your mind, so you feel comfortable what to talk about. If you don't know what to talk about, then find people. Actually, if you don't know what to talk about, then generate a list of ideas ahead of time. All right, that raises the other on our line. I'm not going to talk filler phrases now, but research filler phrases. And if you have questions about that, we can talk about it in another class. That's a big topic. These are a good way to have something to say and make people feel that. So, hello, Morocco, hello. You should start speaking even if you fall in mistake, no problem. Yeah,